So having talismanic. Let's do it again. Good morning, Fab Fam. This is Vinny B with Dead on Board Gaming, and today we're going to do a deck tech for Kano in Blitz. This is the deck I will be running for the skirmish event this weekend. I'm in Gamer Haven's skirmish on Sunday. We're going to start with the equipment and kind of go over what I like to run and then kind of our sideboard. So to start, we're going to do the Metacarpus node. What this does is whenever you play a card with an effect that deals arcane damage, you may pay 1 mana. If you do, it deals that much plus 1. You get to do this throughout the turn. Then at the beginning of your end phase, destroy the node. So you get to pump multiple spells with this. It also has Arcane Barrier 1 if that ends up coming up, but I think this is aggressive enough that this is almost always in our starting lineup. My favorite headpiece is Talismanic Lens. Reason being, it has an instant speed. It lets us opt to. Opt and Wizard go hand in hand. It's very important. It also combos very well with our next piece of equipment, which is Robe of Rapture, which I actually like a little bit more than Tunic in Wizard because it sets up for a bigger turn. It doesn't give you Go Again, which is kind of rough, but it allows us to either do Kano or cast an instant. So if you have 4, this gives you a 5th. So if you have 4 blues, this gives you a 5th blue to kind of set up a turn where you can banish 3 to 4 cards and cast them all. And last but not least is Storm Striders. It has instant, pay 1 mana. Destroy Storm Striders. You may pay your next wizard non-attack action as if it were an instant. Arcane Barrier 2. I don't have too much to say about this. It allows us to play 1 spell at instant speed, which is kind of, once you get into that state of the game where they're kind of low, that's kind of where your death knell's coming from. So from there, we're going to go with our sideboard pieces. I have an Iron Wrought Legs. This is just for an extra 1 damage, kind of for like the Ira matchups. The Tunic, anytime I feel I'm going to run the Arknight Skullcap, I'm putting Tunic in because I don't like the Robe without a good scry. And then last but not least is Arknight Skullcap. If you have less health than the opposing hero, it gets +1 defense and Arcane Barrier 3. It's battle worn. And that will do our equipment. Next will be our weapons. We're running a 3-weapon thing. Sweet. And we have room for one more thing. So if you guys can think of something or something that you think should be in here, please let me know in the comments below. I'm really trying to build this. I got 1 more day for this, so let's keep going here. Of course, we're going to start with the Crucible. OG Mac. Once per turn instant, you can pump your next arcane damage by 1. Followed up by Ether Conduit. This lets you just deal damage. I'm not sure the play patterns of this card yet. I haven't really messed with it, but I can see different scenarios where you're either trying to set up your bottom or keep cards in your hand, or just be able to deal 2 and make them decide if they want to use a card every turn, instead of like these setup turns or turns you're not able to do a lot of damage or not able to actually get off an attack. This allows you to attack every single turn. Last but not least is Talishar the Lost Prince. It's a 4 attack for 2 damage once per turn, and it gets a rust counter. After 3 rust counters, you destroy it, but sometimes swinging for 4 makes them have to block, and anytime Wizard can make the opponent block, you're on the better side of the momentum. So again, just being able to swing 4 seems strong enough. I'm not sure what matchups yet. I'm still kind of going over it, but I think maybe against Wizards, it's, you know, a guaranteed 4 damage without us having to put together anything. Being able to like put some extra pressure on just seems like something you want to do. Yeah, that's all I really got to say about that. So, next, we're going to move over to the deck, and we will start with, you know what? I don't know what we're going to start with. We're going to try. Okay, we're going to start with 2 unmovables. This is for the bigger swing matches, such as Brute, Guardian, Dorinthia, and Ira. The reason this works so good against Ira is because it is able to break the needle. Being able to break the needle slows down their tempo play by more than we... It's super good to get rid of their 3 damage a turn swing. Especially when it doesn't... It only costs them a card, and they can do... That's 4 damage they can swing without playing a card from hand, just pitching for some mana. Next is a setup card we're running, and these are all blue pitches that are, you know, also good for just mana. This right here is going to opt to go again. This seems good in hands where you have, you know, 3 to 4 blue cards. You're able to opt to, and then it sets up for being able to pitch from your opt and use Kano's ability. On your attack phase, you want to use your cards up best to your ability, because you want to make your opponent block as much as possible. The next one is just the setup card that goes. We got 2 energy potions. This gives us an instant. You destroy it, and you gain 2 mana. Not much to say here. Like, the more mana Wizard has, the better it is. It's just a strong piece. Now, this is a little bit of a weird one, but we're running 2 Pursuit of Knowledge. This pitches for 3, which goes into the Wizard game plan. It also attacks for 4, which would make them block for 2. The other thing that I really like is if it hits, we get to draw up to 5 at the end of our turn, which is, again, super good for Wizard. It also makes them have to decide, unless they have defense reactions, whether they want to block it or not. Now, the nice thing about this is they're probably going to get rid of their defense reactions as pitches throughout the game, and they will be very low incentivized to have it on hand. So this should at least cost them 2 blocks. If not, we're drawing an extra card. Going into defense with 5 cards is huge for Wizards. Next, we got 1 Rousing Ether. This is just a pitch card, but if we ever have to play it, it is 2 damage and pumps our next spell. So it kind of does a little bit of everything. I don't like that it costs 2, but again, I think most times we're just pitching this, but it does have the bonus of dealing damage and pumping your next spell if you decide to go off with instants. Next, we have good old Voltic Bolt. 3 damage or 3 mana. It's classic. 2 mana to cast. Next is going to be 2 Ether Flares. These are pitches. Dealing 1 damage and then pumping your next spell by X. I don't think is that good, but it is also a good bluff strategy to make them think that you have something coming that they might not want to be buffed. So maybe they take the 1 damage. I can see this card playing well with, like, the Ether Conduit, where you do this and then do Ether Conduit. The next card you play this turn with an effect, because I believe activating your Conduit is still playing it, if I remember right. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Let me know if that's right or wrong. I do need to know. So next, we got 2 Ether Spindles. I would play this card on both ranges, either to make the mana or 2 damage. This would incentivize them to block, because opting 2 for Wizard is, again, just very good. Next, 2 blue Snapbacks. These are usually pitches, but these also... Snapbacks allow cards like Gaze and Chain Lightning to work. What you do is you'd put, like, Chain Lightning on the stack as your action. Now that you played it, you can play this as an instant. You play this as an instant. It happens like magic. The stack, it's first in, last out. So Snapback would resolve, which would allow Chain Lightning to deal its 3 damage. So it does have a very good... It has 2 very good roles in the deck. Next, Gaze of the Ages. or Gaze the Ages. This is Op 2. If you've played another wizard, non-attack action card this turn, you put it back into your hand. So you Op 2, put it back in your hand. Very good. And again, with Snapback, you play Gaze. It would allow you to play Snapback. You play Snapback, Snapback goes off, Gaze goes back in your hand. Snapback does work. Just so you guys know. Next, we're going to start with a Tome of Fendel. I think I should be running 2 of these, but I only have 1. This just draws 2 for 1. And if you played it out of your arsenal, you gain a life for every card in your hand after you drew. The biggest one I've done 6. There might be a way to get to 7, especially with Pursuit of Knowledge. Next is Chain Lightning. We're only running 1 Chain Lightning again because this involves us having to do other things to make it actually good. It doesn't do a whole bunch all the time, so I think running just 1, especially in Blitz where we don't have time to kind of do these setups and things, like the games are just a little too fast, we're just running 1. Maybe it should be 2, but right now we're happy with the 1. Next will be Lesson in Lava. This is Kano's specialization. It deals 3 damage to an opponent. If it hits, you may search your deck for a card that equal to or less than the mana cost of the damage dealt. And you get to shuffle your deck and put it on top. You have to reveal it. It has to be a wizard, non-attack. Or it just has to be a wizard card. Next will be Sonic Boom. This is my favorite of the wizard attacks. It deals 3 damage. If it deals damage, you get to look at the top card of your deck. If you may banish it. If you do, you may play it this turn as though it was an instant, and it costs X less, where X is the damage dealt by Sonic Boom. I think it's my favorite card in the deck. Next will be Aetherwind, Tome of Aetherwind. This kind of does whatever you really want it to do. Draw 2 is really good in Wizard because it allows you to draw 2 cards. All blue cards allow you to draw a card off Kano. These, again, make bigger turns. It costs no mana, so all it costs is this card. Played out of your arsenal, you get up to 6 cards. And you get to go off from there. And again, you end up with 6 blue mana. Your turn can be pretty ridiculous. Next will be a single Ether Flare. This deals 3 damage and then pumps your next spell by X, where X is the damage it deals. We're only running 1 because I feel like we had to make a cut somewhere to do it, and this doesn't give go again or anything like that, so a lot of times it's just 3 damage for 2, or for 1, that could pump. I don't know, maybe we should run 2 of these. We're running 1 as of right now. And I wonder, what do you guys think? Do we go up a number, and what do we go down? Again, I'm going to try out Pursuit of Knowledge, so I'm not interested in taking that out. Just a heads up. But if you guys can think anything better than that, I would love it. Love to hear about it. Next is Stir the Aetherwinds. For 2, we get to play our next wizard non-attack action card as though it were an instant. If it has an effect that deals arcane damage, it does that plus 3. This is the pump. This is the one that does the pump. I don't like my lighting. I don't like my lighting, guys. Just so you know, I got a couple things. We're going to try to move to a, I don't know, maybe my phone. I'm going to try my phone camera next. I just want to make this better. I just want it to be better. Anyways, next we got the red snapback. Again, I've already gushed all over snapback and how it makes the deck kind of hum. So I won't go too much into it, but this is your attack snapback. Deals 3 damage instead of 1. So again, you get an extra bonus because it's an actual attack card. Next is the attack, the Voltic Bolt. The lightning bolt of the game. 5 damage for 2. Very good. Nothing special about it. Ether Spindle. Love this card. Deal 4 damage, so now they have to decide to block 2. Any damage you get to do, you get to opt that many. And that, I believe, will get us rolling. right? You always want to opt. You're always trying to set up your top. You have a lot of, there is filler in Wizard. Like the way the deck works is there's cards that you're not going to want to draw, or they're very good when you draw them, but like if you can skip that draw, it's more of a placeholder for what you're trying to do. So, can't be too mad if that's how it goes. Next is one of our finishers. It's Forked Lightning. Forked Lightning deals 2 damage to target hero and then 2 damage to target hero. It is the way I understand it is it's a single source of damage, so it can only be blocked once if you target the same hero. Please let me know if I'm wrong about that, because it still feels weird. I feel like it targets twice, but it is a single source of damage, which also means that anything that pumps it pumps both sides of it. So if I pump it for 1, it pumps the first 2 to 3 and the second 2 to 3 and makes it 6 damage. And then if you can pump it again with the nodes, that's 8 damage. And then if you pump it with, what was it called? Sorry. Stir the Ether Winds, you add an extra 3 to it. You know what I mean? Like, very strong. And then the finisher, Blaze Ether. And what this does is it costs 0, and it deals arcane damage equal to the arcane damage dealt this turn. Getting this off as an instant or the last card on a 7 or 8 damage turn doubles your damage. It just doubles your damage. Like if you get any kind of turn that kind of goes off, this doubles it as long as you can get it to go off. It's worth popping the boot to do this. It's awesome if you can set it up as an instant. If it's one of your good turns where you have 3 blue pitches, you pitch 2 or 3 of them, get 3 instants, and you get to cast, say, for 3 you get to cast all of them, and this is what you get to finish up with. It's a deadly turn. And that, you guys, is the deck I'm going to take to skirmish this weekend. Again, if you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, let me know. Comment below. Like, share, comment. All that fun stuff. I appreciate you guys stopping in every week. I also want to take just 1 second. We just got over 50 subscribers. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much. We are going to be putting together some giveaways for at 100. So I hope you guys share this around. Let's get it there, and let's hand some stuff out. Let's have some good times. But again, I appreciate you guys, and we will see you guys next time.